One day at a university, a philosophy professor asked his students a question. Does evil exist? The students answered affirmatively. Then the professor continued. God created everything that exists. If God created everything, then he also created evil. After all, evil truly exists in this world. Can we then say that God is its source? The students fell silent, shocked by this conclusion, but one of them raised his hand and asked, Professor, may I ask a question? Does cold exist? Of course. Haven't you ever felt cold on a frosty day? The professor replied. The student smiled. In reality, cold does not exist as an independent phenomenon. In physics, it is simply the absence of heat. We can measure heat but not cold. Cold is merely a lack of thermal energy. The student continued, And does darkness exist? Of course it does. When you turn off the light, it becomes dark. So not an independent phenomenon, the student objected. It is merely the absence of light. We can study light, measure its intensity, break it down into a spectrum, but we cannot measure darkness. Darkness is simply the lack of light. The student paused and then added, The same is true for evil. Evil is not something created by God, but rather the absence of his presence in people's hearts. It is a state where love, mercy, and compassion are missing. Just as cold arises where there is a lack of heat, and darkness where there is no light, so too does evil arise where a person rejects God and his truth. The professor silently looked at the student, realizing that his argument had been refuted.